You're listening to Two Beers Until Phronesis, a philosophy podcast for students, graduates, and anyone else interested in ideas. Alongside regular guests and friends, we discuss some of life's big questions over a few beers. Enjoy. I don't have an intro. This is your topic, so maybe you should go first.
I don't like intros. You know, I never did good intros when we did our own podcast, let alone yours.
That's very true. So I was a little bit confused with what you wanted to actually talk about. So you want to talk about the similarity between luck and religion?
Yeah, and basically how after doing my own thought process on why I feel that I'm lucky, right? Yeah, which we can go into anyway. But when I was researching that to talk to you about it, I just kept coming back to gods and God and belief in a higher power just kept reoccurring throughout all the study that I did.
Yeah, so luck is essentially a kind of
favor
divinity. Yeah. Okay. So straight away, yeah. So it's not so much religion, but it is very similar to God. So when you say luck, you're thinking about like gamblers and stuff, like
gamblers, people who feel that, you know, when something goes right for them, they're lucky for it. Finding a fiver on the floor that then pays for a round of drinks and then leads to another situation.
You're thinking about yourself now, finding fivers on the floor, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly, and it leading to another and leading throughout the day in situations though. And I always, say, lucky. You're a lucky person. Luck happens to you.
See, I don't believe in supernatural luck, but I would still say things can be lucky because luck is literally
chance.
Yeah, it's if we talk about luck, it's the force that determines whether a situation is good or bad, and that can be purely naturalistic. That can be, I could describe something as lucky, even though it was chance. But yeah, obviously, what you want to talk about is slightly different. It's like, because I think there are some people that take the idea of luck really, really far, and they believe in like lady luck, and they have like all these little rituals and things, like proper gamblers,
like gamblers, sportsmen, people who believe so much in something. But then I ended up, because I was trying to look at that obviously for myself, because obviously I have things that I do for luck and certain things, and I was like trying to figure it out, and it's more like a sort of like semi placebo effect.
Okay, yeah, so that's an interesting. I've got some stuff on that actually, because we talk about that a lot in the podcast anyway. Nye especially likes to mention this idea of, so he uses the example of we call it functional belief or like behavioral faith or something. I can't remember what we decided on calling it because it's not really a common
concept,
term. But he uses the example of the baseball player, and you got the baseball player. He prays to the baseball god, and therefore influences his performance because he has this very strong conviction. There's actually a really good BBC study that I read. It's basically this self-fulfilling prophecy. People believe in something, therefore it's more likely to be true.
Exactly. And then obviously, as you want about that belief in that baseball god, you come back to this whole point that I'm trying to find luck, and all I find is divine intervention. Most gamblers don't believe in God. They don't pray to God to win. They say that number is lucky because I keep winning on it. So they create their own entity, I guess, around a particular instance like that.
Yeah, so that's where it gets more belief orientated. Whilst I think, so generally, I think the reason why this tends to work, even though it very clearly isn't true, is because lucky people are generally more open to opportunity. They're more courageous and willing to take risks. And not only are they more willing to take risks, the more risks they take, the more experience, the wealth of experience they have to draw on that. Yeah. So trial and error. So they know which risks to take in the future. They're also very good at seeing the best, being optimists. So even if something wasn't particularly lucky, they'll then consider it to be lucky later on. They'll kind of spin it as, so that, generally that's why people are lucky, because of those psychological attributes.
There we are. Psychoanalyzed Bertie already.
Yeah. That's a very simplified version of why religion works, or why certain elements of religion are retained, and why people cling to these beliefs for thousands of years, because they contain very useful psychological
it's more
properties,
like a
I guess.
book.
Yeah.
You know, you go through it and you pick up someone's experience from 5,000 years ago and use it And if it works for you, you think you're lucky. I mean, the one instance that I ended up doing in my research was obviously the I Ching, which is like this giant ancient Chinese book where you flip coins and those coins drive a line in the book, which creates like a hexagram, and then you work your way through it, and it tells like a prophecy, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, you ask it, am I going to be happy today? And you flip your coins and such, and it comes up and tells you an answer. And it goes, no, you're not going to be happy today. Or yes, you're going to be happy today. But it does it in like a really obvious Chinese style where it's like, the winds of fortune favor people who walk into them. You know, really weird shit like that.
That is so like Barnum statements. So like really vague statements.
Really vague statements
that can be interpreted anyway.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm trying to think of it, what it's called now. You know, with star signs and everything.
Yeah, or astrology.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's basically like astrology.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example.
Or personality tests.
Yeah, it's like
you look at it and it goes.
You're headstrong in your own way.
Yeah.
It's like that could mean anything really.
It could be. It's like when people get their prophecy told, and especially when it comes to the star signs, if you read any of the other ones, they apply to you. And that's the point. Yeah,
it's an opportunity is coming your way this week. Well, same every week, mate. Like, yeah. There's some very clever techniques embedded in this, and they're wrapped up in a lot of poetry and a lot of very nice things in religion as well, which makes religion slightly separate.
That's why I find it interesting though. So the term for that sort of like randomness, and then that randomness being actually a divine intervention, is cleromancy. It's an actual thing.
Okay.
So that's the sort of thing, like if I flip a coin, God is the one who decides if it's yes or no.
Or
if it goes into like tarot readings or anything that what you do as a way to create a divine intervention in a situation. Like drawing. So it's in the Bible a lot. So it's drawing lots, picking out sticks, the short stick. Get sacrificed.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the actual exact Bible verses for you. I'm not that sort of like in-depth crazy. But there are bits where he's talking about like, that is your scapegoat, that person who picks out that lot. And it's in the Bible a lot. And it's a way of getting God into the situation without having to have the actual divineness of a prophet.
Well, I would say it's probably not quite the same. I think there are a lot of similarities, but I'm going to say that the belief in luck isn't quite the belief in God, because it doesn't have a lot of the same myth.
No, I'm saying that the belief in luck is having an absence of God.
It's like a shortcut to what you want.
You want. Yeah, it's instead of going.
It cuts out all the stuff that makes religion like actual,
the hierarchy,
viable.
The priests, everything. It's like a one track to where you need to get to.
Yeah, and that. So what you're trying to get to, I think, is this idea of like grace or providence or predestination, some of these theological ideas. But I think the major difference is obviously religion is a way of life it rewards the faithful but it rewards moral action. But luck doesn't really do that. Luck is more just like if you want to win on a horse race. I think it's a little bit narcissistic, therefore, to attach so much weight to your decisions.
But luck is absolutely narcissistic because it's saying that you're more powerful than.
The universe revolves around you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the narcissism that's around it.
So if we want to get down to this question of, okay, so is luck religion? Here's how I would really get into that question. Obviously, it's difficult without sort of really getting into
studies
and psychology. It's psychology, really. Like it's the same thing happening in the brain that happens with religion, because there is like I'm not a fucking scientist, but there's a cortex or whatever that lights up or something when you're doing a religious thing. It would be interesting to see if that was the same. But I think conceptually, definitionally, we can kind of. I've got three ways of looking at this anyway. So when you messaged me the other day, the first thing I thought of was, well, in some cases, some religions, the idea of luck and the idea of religion are inseparable. They are pretty much the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
So this is typically a thing with older religions because obviously they're more to do with superstition. And in the context of luck, superstition is the sort of the navigation of luck via rituals, generally to try and obviously to produce an event.
Well, it's mainly because the older religions, it was less about having the all-powerful one. I mean, a lot of the gods are very human characteristics, and the characteristic of humanity is a belief in itself and also trying to figure out what's around it.
Yeah, so it's almost like a kind of proto-science crossed with a little bit of like moralizing and stuff and trying to work out good actions and stuff. So I think that's definitely true of like older pagan religions, but like pre-Islamic Arabia, I was saying to you last time about the jinn, the genies, because they're just a random force. They'll make people ill. So if you come down with a great sickness, it's like, oh, the jinn got me. If a poet's really inspired, he'll go, oh, look at what the jinn gave me. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird because it's like passing off responsibility to
something else.
Yeah, like this higher. Well, it's not even the jinns aren't really higher.
I'm getting confused here. Why it's getting difficult because luck is itself something more than you, but then how much more than you is it?
Do you mean how much more authority does it have? Yeah. So because that's the interesting thing because obviously the Abrahamic God's really the only God that's infallible, and that's in that really true sense of like it's just intrinsically perfect.
Yeah.
But luck isn't necessarily perfect. It's just this thing it's perfect there to you in that situation, sure, but
you have bad luck and good luck. So it's the force around you that is acting with you and sometimes against you. Which is why you obviously have, Romans, fortune comes from the god of luck, Fortuna. So that's where we get the word from for fortune and good luck.
Yeah.
Romans sort of from the Greeks, but that's how
it's weird to have a god of luck whilst you can still pray to the other gods and make sacrifices and they'll still favor you.
What exactly do you pray to the god of luck for?
Yeah.
Can I not die today? Surely you pray to like the war god or something.
Yeah. It's like what specific to luck that isn't, all the others involve luck.
Do you think then that praying to that god of luck is to cover you for everything else? Because luck covers everything. Whereas if you just pray to the war god, you might die later on for something that isn't war related.
I think, it's more, I don't know really. They're just different parts of the human psyche.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that luck is separated because there's another similar god in, come on, brain, work. Hinduism. Why did that take so long? Literally looking at a statue right now. Ganesh.
The elephant one.
Yeah, the elephant one.
That's the one.
The blue elephant, Ganesh. Yeah. Ganesh, they'll pray to Ganesh if they, like a businessman wants to strike a deal. Or, you're right to set up a small business, you make a little offering to Ganesh, just like a little ritualistic thing you can do. So yeah, the almost a similar kind of thing. It's sort of good fortune, usually in a more business orientated context. If you want to, kind of get something done that day,
make an offering in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's kind of similar. There's
so when does that offering run out? Is there like a time on it? You put 50p in the box. It lasts an hour.
You start doing that with it, and it doesn't. It no longer makes any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I said to you last time, I think Hinduism kind of traditionally had that with the Vedic texts. So in the Vedas are basically spell books. You do the right ritual and it will produce the right result. There's no idea of grace. So it's God in that sense. It's very, a lot of this depends on how you define God, or because it's difficult. Like what are we talking about here? What is God? And
that's
the fact that it has a will.
This whole thing is that there's so much in this one little question.
So you could technically say that luck is God, but I wouldn't, because I probably have a stronger sense of what I think the word means. I'm sure somebody who's actually religious would have a much stronger sense
of what it means the other way around. Yeah,
but it does seem very rigid in the old Hindu way. So if you wanted to win a battle, you do the prayer correctly, and it was to do with isn't that Doctor Who episode where the Shakespeare one?
Yes.
Yeah, the Shakespeare one. They there are these creatures called Carrionites. I can't remember. I could just remember that off the top of my head. Christ, I like that episode. But the Carrionites can say certain words or do certain things, and it's presented as, because it's Doctor Who, it's a science, it's not magic. And this is actually very similar to what early Hinduism does and a lot of other religions. So certain actions, it's very narcissistic again, but they believe that humans can make certain sounds, vibrations, chants, prayers, offerings, and it's just a kind of, it's written into the universe as like almost like a scientific law, like the theory of gravity or something. It's you do that thing and you produce a result. So there's no sense of, oh, well, he did the prayer better, but I prefer his character. There's none of that in early Hinduism. It's, as far as we know, it is all just do X to get Y. So this is where I think it actually kind of departs. So I don't think this whole thing, oh, well, religion and luck are the same thing, just what I've been talking about. This is why I don't think they're the same thing, because I don't think they've ever truly been the same thing. I think there's a lot more to religion than luck. But also, in this example, it's bizarrely the other way around now, because Hinduism doesn't favor certain people, but it seems like luck does. Even if you get the rituals right, and it's because there's something called the gambler's fallacy, where people will kind of. I do this all the time, and Nye has a fucking go at me because I buy scratch cards a lot. I'm like, well, I haven't lost.
I haven't lost. That much.
I haven't lost. No, I haven't won in a while, so I'm bound to win now. It's like completely false logic.
Yeah.
Or like, people do it with a fruity all the time in the pub. It's just like, that fruity hasn't given out loads of money, so it's gonna give out money tonight. I'm bound to get a jackpot.
Again, is that the sort of way of saying, rather than saying I'm the one who's going to get it, the machine, it's a passing off again. It's a way of removing it from yourself, a situation. So I think it's sort of like removing the control to make your life easier, which is one of the reasons people believe in a higher power, is because they want to sort of like remove doubt, and to be able to believe in something else that will do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Means they don't have to think about it. So if you suddenly think that is a lucky number, I don't have to worry about it, I can bet on that number, or it's my lucky trousers, so I don't have to think as hard about the actual game.
Have you got a pair of lucky trousers?
No, it's just like sportsman sort of stuff. I think it's a sort of way of calming yourself down.
Yeah, I think it does remove a lot of this anxiety. The less variables you have control of,
the better you are.
Yeah.
Which is why religion works so well, which is why, especially God, as in the Abrahamic God, has so much control nowadays, because he removes almost everything from someone's life.
Absolutely.
Whereas obviously Greeks, Romans, Hindus have a pantheon of gods.
Yeah, it's all there for you. You just have to submit. That's your contribution to life. You submit.
Yeah.
You remove your agency. In the most
free will.
Yeah, in the most devout sects anyway. I'm sure that like your average vicar wouldn't think that way really, but I think the most devout of us do that. They want to remove. Yeah, it's weird because when we talk normally, we talk about, say, like a certain risk. So me and you, we want to start a bar business. We want to start a mobile bar business. Let's say we got a sponsor, which we basically do.
We do, yeah.
We should get this podcast to sponsor it, and then vice versa. Yeah. No, but let's say we wanted
Cotswold beer.
Let's say we wanted to get Cotswold beer, and we both decided on the risks or whatever, and it paid off massively. We'd say, well, that was our ingenuity, that was our skill, we did that. But so if it went wrong, we would then say bad luck, and that's like not our fault. I think that's a thing that people have a tendency to do. They take risks and they don't evaluate them properly, and then they go, oh, bad luck. But then they're all too willing to praise themselves when it goes right,
rather than saying that was good luck.
Yeah. It's no longer luck then.
No, that's exactly.
Yeah, we make our own luck.
That's why I think sometimes it's narcissism. So good luck is down to you being amazing. Bad luck is just bad luck.
One of the reasons why I dislike all this, it's fated to happen. Oh, it's everything works out for a reason. It's like, well, it kind of makes people. Makes them lazy. Yeah, it's well and good if you want to believe in some sort of luck to, if you want that sense of optimism. I mean, I can't do it personally. I kind of wish I could be like you.
I'll teach you.
So, yeah, just be Just really overconfident all the time. But like, no, it would be nice to be a lot more confident when it comes to things like gambling. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe I should stay away.
Especially with scratch cards going as they are now.
I mean, you're
due to win soon.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't lost. I haven't won in a while. So no, but I don't get that many scratch cards. I get like
20 a week.
No, a couple of months at most. Probably not even that.
This is Gamblers Anonymous. It's okay, Connor. You could talk to me about it.
Give yourself up to a higher power. That's the last step.
That's the last step. Yeah. Pray to God, He'll help. He'll give you the right numbers for the lottery.
So,
I am definitely lucky, and I have a lot of shit happen to me that should not happen to me. And I don't know how to explain it other than luck, unless God really likes me. But I doubt that.
It's coincidence. What was I saying? You derailed me.
Luck.
That's horrible. So I'm a humanist, and a lot of this stuff is at odds with humanism. We've talked about it a lot before, but in regards to luck, I think it has a much more bigger role to play, things to say on luck.
Again, because it's absence of God, so it makes more sense for a humanist to believe in luck than it does for them to believe in God.
So trying to be responsible for your own decisions and not waiting for salvation from above.
Mm-hmm.
So inheriting your actions in the here and now. And I think the Buddha had pretty much the same objection. He thought everything has a cause. He thinks there is either moral causality through karma, or there's a kind of a physical, cosmic causality to everything. Mm-hmm. So the Buddha actually fucking hated luck. He used to,
I imagine he would.
He used to tell his followers, don't believe in luck. You make your own luck.
Is that you've made a bad decision along the way, therefore your own luck is bad?
Well, that's just but that's categorically different, because that's luck is then just a description applied to an event, as opposed to
the actual event itself.
Being ascribed to the essence of an object or an individual. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I think you can definitely say there are similarities, but where it starts to, I think there's an essential difference between luck and religion. I think it's fundamentally different, only because religion has all these social elements, has like the myth and the ritual and the prayer. It's difficult because I think some people that believe in luck are also religious in how they treat it, but I don't think to believe in luck generally is religiosity.
No,
but I don't think you're religious with luck, but I think some gamblers are.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, but I don't think religion's a very strong word. It's a very intricate thing. It has a lot of facets. It's not just believing in a thing. If you're lazy and you just want to pass off everything to, it was luck, that's not quite the same as, a monk.
After God.
Yeah. You're not, it doesn't make you a monk. That just makes you
a mug.
The book of Isaiah actually says that belief in luck is really bad. And although luck is mentioned in the Bible a lot positively, it's also mentioned negatively a lot. When it's mentioned negatively, it's usually to say that, look, don't believe in fate, because fate is
absence of free will.
Yeah, it's God's. God controls destiny, and your actions, your submission to God controls destiny.
That's what I mean. So there's clearly a point where they split apart. Where once they were the same thing, obviously the god of luck, that those two are the same things together. And then eventually it got to the point where I went, okay, now there's God who decides everything. And then luck is for those who necessarily don't believe in God as much or pass as much on to him.
I think it's the core, some of the core elements of religion. So like, if I was going to define religion, I'd probably say something like it's the assessment of a cosmic conflict in which you have a place.
That was very poetic.
But that assessment, the answer to that conflict is generally something that's infallible or near infallible. Something that can't be argued with, at least, practically. There are instances of, I think Moses has a little
a taff
chat with God.
Yeah, but then a burning bush appears and he shuts up.
Yeah, well, and I think Muhammad has a go at God at some point. I think it's the night flight. I think he goes up and says, "Oi, don't do this," which kind of causes a lot of problems with the whole idea that God has set everything out in predestination, because he appears to change his mind in that bit, but yeah, there are answers to all these things in theology. But it's this sentiment of faith, this devotion to this infallible power, is sets out to solve this conflict. But then it also, you have a sense of worthlessness in front of this power, usually.
Mm-hmm.
And from this, the social elements develop. So you've got your ritual, theology, prayer, myth, and the development of history and tradition.
But do you not think that we have history and tradition with luck?
No, not as much.
We have some, though, bits that are passed on. Your rabbit's foot, your horseshoe.
Yeah, but they don't...
Things that are institutionally
they're
lucky.
Not. They're too isolated. So I'd say that's superstition. And some religions are superstitious. By most people's definition, all religions are superstitious.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I don't think I've done this for the last 5 podcasts now, but I'm going to say it again. Nazis, because I can't be bothered to educate myself on any other regimes. Nazis are religious. I think.
Like when they found the Ark of the Covenant.
No, close your eyes. I think all religions are dogmatic. Some are superstitious, or at least they dogmatic. They bracket reason. It's not about reason. It's about this sentiment, this sense of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So believing in fairies or water divining. The reason why that probably isn't religion, and again, I think it can be, but it depends on the psychology of the person.
Mm-hmm.
Is because it's isolated. It's just a single belief. It doesn't really stretch much further in the way they...
So it requires a sort of pantheon of other ones to make it a religion.
Yeah.
More isolated instances that all feed into one.
And it has to envelop your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think water divining does. I think that's just something that people do on the weekends because they think they've got a special power to find where water is in the ground.
Yeah.
I don't think that's... I mean, it could give someone an immense sense of meaning, but, as much meaning as it gave Moses looking at the burning bush, probably not. Or, your average nun or monk now, the way they feel about the spirit of, the Holy Christ is living within me. You don't get that in water divining.
No, you don't get that in gambling either.
No,
not a lot. You get it sometimes, but those people really are...
They're on the edge. I think that's where there is an interesting crossover. But I think for most everyday people that just believe in luck whenever they want to gamble,
it just happens.
Yeah, because I believe in luck when I start gambling. If I'm on a fruity, I will, think that even mental things like the way I'm standing will influence how I play.
I'm not that bad.
I don't gamble very often, and it's only, I know it's irrational. I know it's just a passing thought. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Like we said earlier, though, I think that luck comes more down to experience, and which is why religion and luck are very similar. Is because most religions are very old, that it's experience that's passed on. Because when it comes down to luck and gamblers, they pick something because it's repetition, and because it happens a lot. Like when I play on roulette wheels, which are the worst ones to bet on because the house wins the most on them. Like 85% of the time the house wins. I do the same thing every time. I always bet down straight on the left-hand side, £1 on each chip, and then £10 on the one that gets you triple win at the very end, right? That's how I play roulette. Always play roulette like that. Even if I lose on that go, keep doing that. Because in the end, I win loads of money. Right? And
this is what they want you to think.
I know, that's exactly what they want me to think. But at the same time...
Gambling is a £1 billion industry.
It is.
And there's a reason why. It is,
but I win things. So you can't exactly say that I'm wrong in my own narcissistic way.
So this is what I say to Nye in the few instances where I do gamble. And I obviously get the full
the Nye attack. Yeah.
I get the Nye attack. I don't gamble that often, to be honest. We go on the quiz machine a little bit. I mean, that's not necessarily gambling. There's an element of skill. It's certainly less of a gamble.
Yeah,
to use skill.
There's a little slider to how much gambling is skill than how much is luck, and how much is the house there going tipping the scales.
When people mistake kind of the way that things are caused. So like, causation. So causality,
Thank you very
I'm trying to say.
No, they call that drinks out of my head.
They commit a fallacy. This is an informal fallacy called post hoc ergo propter hoc, which is which is it's basically when you think that X causes Y.
Yeah,
because it's just coincidence, and I think this is the core part really of why people think luck is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's very easy from that to see why earlier religions seem to look a lot like our modern notion of luck.
Mm-hmm.
The crops worked this year.
Lucky.
It must be the lucky god of sun.
It's a way of explaining things.
Yeah, and
which is again why I say God is there, because God takes all of that. He takes all of the gods, rolls them into one, and goes, Moses, that bush is on fire. This old Rosie's nice though.
It is. I'm not pouring this very well.
Here's the cap.
I don't think the cap actually goes on because it's a free bottle.
Not for sale, samples only.
Yeah, that's what we're drinking.
Excellent. Thieves.
No, it's not. No, it's a free gift.
Isn't that what stealing is?
From Western
It's
Cider.
a free gift.
Anyway,
TSL.